All right, welcome to another video of the Target Individual Program, Target Individual Experience. So, had to take, I forgot the bus, check the bus schedule for the other bus. It said that the bus is approaching the same bus that I got off for. Now I didn't see any bus. They've done this already. They do this at times also. So when I went back, I said, okay, you know what? Let me just go back and refresh the page. And when I did that, it said the bus would be there in two buses, one in 11 minutes, the other one in 12 minutes, which is ridiculous, right? Which is ridiculous. Why would they have two buses, one after the next, a minute apart, one at 11, one that's going to be there in 11 minutes and the other one in 12 minutes, right? Like I said, this is a bus I take all the time, particularly at this time of the night. There's never two buses right behind each other. Never. All right. Rarely during the day. It rarely happens. Okay. So at after 11 o'clock at night, minutes to 12. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they do. They mess with the bus schedule. Right. So yeah. So let me tell you. Like I said, they were engaging and targeting in the emergency room. And one of the doctors who came, I was supposed to get an EKG, and she just left and never came back. Right? She just left and never came back. And it was a black nurse that came to me, because this other doctor, she wasn't black. It was a black nurse that came to me. She was like, she's like, no one said anything. I just so happened to look at the board and saw your name. Okay. So then I got the EKG or what have you, and I had to go to the emergency room because, like I said, I have never seen my doctor. I have never seen his office that crowded on a Wednesday night. Okay. And probably I should have went back there just to look and see, and there probably would have been nobody there, because a lot of these people they're there to crowd to keep me from, going to the doctor. Maybe they wanted, like I said, they have contingency for contingency, right? Because like I said, I've been targeted in downstate before, and so sometimes you don't want to go back to those places, and they know this. They know this. Like I said, what they do is to erode your trust. And not like I trusted them anyway, but like I said, I have the report in my bag. I'm going to take pictures of it, save them, and if my health turned worse, then I know exactly. I can say, look, I went to the emergency room. They did this. They took my blood work, and they told me that everything is fine, and blah blah blah, and all this stuff, right? Right. So again, as a TI, you gotta do things in a manner in which, to cover yourself, because these people will poison you, or get others to poison you, and then lie about it, right? Because she gave me, they had gave me this pill to take and some chalky stuff. I think she said it's, I forgot the name of it, peptate or something like that, right? So they could have gave me medicine to cure whatever it is that, the poison or what have you. So like I said, they're very slick in terms of covering themselves. Had I not went to the emergency room, right, a couple of days later, I would have been severely ill or some shit like that, or I would have caused damage to my internal organs. So that's why. Right? Like I said, you got to understand these people's mindset. They are criminals. They are master criminals, masquerading as law enforcement. These people are master criminals. All right, these are, it's like I said, we are just so ignorant about what's going on. particularly us as black people. You know, I should say the Negropeans amongst us, not the black people who have an African-centered mindset, who understand our reality, all right? Particularly those of us who walked away from Christianity because we understand that religion poisons the minds of black people, and particularly when you have racist white people claiming to be Christians, right? Talking about Jesus' love or whatever, right? But when it comes to black people, oh, black people are evil, black people are this, black people are that. So they show you that they're not about love. They show us that we're not about love. But because we are so brainwashed that we cannot see the reality before us, right? Because religion binds our minds so that we don't think. We just want to believe. But when they start to do to us what they are doing to the Palestinians, who is going to be there to protect us? Who is going to fight for us? Right? And the reason why I say it is because black people in America are the most unhealthy people. Not only, and I'm not saying that because, you know, say that we are like that because we want to be like that. No, this is being done to us, right? From the bad food in our communities, no healthy grocery stores, right? They never built a gym in the community until white people moved back into the community, right? So these things is what I talk about. And you want to know why? Because the majority of us are unhealthy and obese. How are we going to fight? You know what I'm saying? Like, really, like, how are we going to fight? Right? You got to think about that. Right? How are we going to fight? And they disable us. They do it. They say, well, you know, you don't have to eat that, you have to do that. Because again, they don't quite understand how cognitive warfare works, how brainwashing works, how psychological manipulation works. And we don't have and we don't have enough psychologists and psychiatrists who are experts, who knows these things, right? But you can look at the black community. You can look at black people online, black women in particular, right? And you can see what it is that they have done, particularly to our women. Unrealistic expectations, overinflated egos, right? Why? So that black men and vice versa, black women, we can be unattracted to each other, right? Or we can be sexually, what's the word I'm looking for? When they say, like I said, when white people say you this, they'll turn you into that. So if they say we're hypersexual, they're going to make us hypersexual, right? And because we know the people who are the most hypersexual people are white people, right? Look at the porn industry. All you gotta do is that. Look at the porn industry. Look at the sex industry. Who's the vast majority of people in those industries, right? Look at the sex workers. Who are the vast majority of people who are sex workers, right? And we talk about the things that they do, orgies and all that stuff. It's mostly white people, right? That's why they in porn they have all sorts of terminology, right? They'll do these movies where, hey hun, it's your birthday, look what I got for you, right? The husband gets the wife a black man so he can fuck his wife and he can film it. You know what I'm saying? This is that's what I'm saying. So we got to know and understand what is being done to us. We have to know the tactics and the method that's being done. We have to know the technology that's being used. We know some of them. We know the medication from Big Pharma, right? We know that. Creating new revenue service, a revenue stream, I should say, particularly with our children, and manipulating our women into putting their sons on drugs, right? Because some doctor, white doctor, told them that your son has attention deficit disorder. And like I said, our woman's supposed to be the most educated. The most educated. But make some of the most dumbest decisions. You don't think that because your child has not taught discipline, has not taught structure, that doesn't have anything to do with his behavioral issues? Right? See, black women will say that they believe in God, but do everything opposite to what God said they should do. And I understand, because the God of your Bible don't do the things that he commanded us to do any damn way, right? He gave you the 10 commandments and he broke every one of them. Except for thou shalt not worship another God. Right? Because he's a narcissistic prick. Thou shalt not kill, but he kills. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, but he covet neighbor's wife. Thou shalt not lie, but he lies. Right? So, I mean, come on. You know, we got to think. And like I said, I will never go back to that religion or any religion, particularly when I know my African, spiritual system, particularly when I'm being targeted, right, to limit my intelligence or to take away my knowledge because they want me to be a believer like the rest of the zombies out there. Right? We won't even tell our children the truth because we've been conditioned to love and to like well-dressed lies. All right? Talk to you guys in the next video.